Welcome back. It's the Flow Friday Sports Show on Flow FM, and it's time to have a look at what was a massive grand final day in the River Murray Netball Association. Pat Brown is on the line with me for one last recap of the final weekend of the season. How are you going, Pat?
I'm good, thanks, Dan. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. It was a massive grand final day, and I'm keen to hear all about it. And it was headlined by the Mallee Storm winning the A-grade premiership. They were unbeaten ever since round 5 after a slightly rocky 2-2 start to the year, but far too good on grand final day for the Southern Suns, 56-46, and they found a way to slow down the Suns, which not any other teams really were able to do. The Suns were so high scoring all throughout the year, but they held them to just 46 goals here, and they run out 10-goal winners.
Yeah, look, 10 goals sounds a lot, but that's certainly not the way the game appeared. It was called the Battle of the Mallee. I don't think either teams thought that they would actually come up against each other in a grand final this early into their being a part of the River Murray Netball Association. They sort of thought it might have taken them a few years, but to do it in their second year in just shows the strength of the area in putting together their teams. But look, the game started, the Suns started really, really well and very quickly got to a 3-1 lead before the Storm defenders started to get a lot of whistle in the goal circle. They were eager to apply pressure, but unfortunately the umpires were on it right from the word go. So they had to look at changing their tactics just a little bit. Nerves were definitely a thing that you could be seen because of the pressure of the game. But Storm made the first change in taking off their goal shooter, Abby Pake, and bringing on Jacoba Clough, who has played down in town with Danielle Gray, and they definitely are a goal-scoring combination that is worthwhile watching, particularly for young players. So the Storm did get back. They got back in front, and they went into the quarter-time break with a 4-goal lead. Neither team started the second quarter with any changes, and the Storm were definitely the first to settle, but the Suns kept coming back at them time and time again. And a bit of bad passing came into it, and that's the pressure of the game. But Storm improved their pressure, recovered their 4-goal lead, and actually went on to go into half-time by 10 up, which was the winning margin. So that tells us that the second half of the game was definitely a game where the Suns, particularly in their defensive lineup of Taylor Guthrie at goal defence and Olivia Clark at goalkeeper, definitely made the Storm goalies start to work a bit harder. And there was a lot of extra pressure in the mid-court in getting the feeds down into the goal circle. So they did manage to bring the deficit back to 8. But then again, the Storm took control again and they made a couple of changes and they brought the game back into their favour and actually went into three-quarter time 12 goals up. So they would have been feeling really, really confident going into that last quarter, knowing all they had to do was maintain their centre pass conversion rate. But the Suns were prepared to fight right to the very end. They used their bench depth. They made interchanges through the quarter. They really attacked the ball with any errors from Storm. Storm would have fought the pressure the whole way through. And with 6 minutes remaining, the Storm only made their second rotation of the game by bringing on Georgia Ballard at wing defence, which gave the Storm a very strong, solid, attacking wing defender. And they rotated their whole lineup in doing that. So although the 10 sounds a lot, anybody watching the game would have thought the game was a lot closer. So much was the defensive pressure. And with both teams having so much height, the ball work up and down the court would have been brilliant to have watched. Yeah, nerves bring on minor flutters, even in your top grade, but it would have been a brilliant game of netball to watch. And I'm sure the Suns will be out for revenge next year.
All right, well done to the Mallee Storm. It was a brilliant season for them. Like I said, they didn't lose after round 5. They knocked off the Imperials twice in the regular season and then once in the finals after the Imps finished top and in many people's minds were probably the premiership favourites. And then on grand final day, to top things off, they recorded a good double-digit goal victory over the Suns. So the Storm win in the rivals from the old Mallee League playing off, and they will enjoy some premiership celebrations, and I'm sure it's been a good week of celebrating for those girls.
But just let me add to that, with the 10-goal difference, Bree Abernathy in the centre court area for the Suns was actually best on court.
Okay, that's not often that you see that.
No, it's not often that you see that, but many would say that just showed that the Storm played as a complete team, not a team of one or two exceptional players. So it doesn't happen very often, but it does happen.
Doesn't happen very often in any sports that the best on comes from the losing side. But well done to her. I'm sure that was very well deserved, as you said. And once again, well done to the Storm girls. Pat, obviously it was a great grand final in the A grade, but what about around the rest of the association? There were heaps of grand finals played on the day. Perhaps you can run through some of the other winners for us.
Yeah, well, the A reserves was Suns versus Imperials. This was a very close game. There was only 3 goals difference at the end, and that's how it appeared through most of the game. The quarter times were 4 goals at quarter time, 8 goals at half time, and then the Imps came back, and then it was 3 at three-quarter, and the end result was 3. So that was a very competitive, strong, gutsy game of netball. The B grade was one of 5 games where the team that went straight into the grand final actually lost. The Suns went straight in the B grade, and the Imps bested them on the day by 10 goals to take out that win. The B reserves, the Suns again went straight into the grand final. Imperials lost a number of players in the prelim final to some bad injuries, which allowed them to bring up some of their younger players from their junior grades, and the Imps actually won 53-41. And the special part about that game was the best on court was a lady by the name of Belinda McCallick, and she actually got, for the second year straight, the chance to play with one of her daughters in a grand final because her daughter was one of the young ones that stepped up.
Wow, what
and
a story.
And that is something that does not happen very often.
No.
The C grade, again, Ramblers were the team that went straight in. Maipo bested them by 2 goals. Mallee Storm won the intermediate 1, 52-44 over Joyboys. Imps won the Inter 2, 44 over Maipo 27. Inter 3, Manham, 49, bested the Suns only 12 goals. So that was the one and only well and truly huge win of the day. Junior 1, Imperials went through, having finished number 1, only had lost 1 game for the whole season and were beaten by Maipo in the grand final by 22 goals. Junior 2, again, Maipo went through straight from the qualifying, and Mallee Storm beat them 38-30. Sub-Junior 1, Ramblers 37 defeated Jervois 30. And Sub-Junior 2, this was an amazing game. This would have been the first time these young players would have had it playing in a competitive grand final. Jervois had finished the season as minor premiers. Cats had finished in 4th place. So they bested the next 2 teams over the semi and prelim finals to get their chance to come up against Jervois in the last game, and Jervois won by 1 goal. So the Cats could have finished 4th and taken out the premiership. The game was very exciting. These young players loved it. Their parents loved it. The game was so chaotic and so loud, but it was played in such a brilliant display of sportsmanship and fun and enjoyment that all of those young players deserve to be congratulated almost as much as our A grade.
All right, what a grand final day in the River Murray Netball Association. Heaps of good games played, some great subplots in there as well, and congratulations to all the winners on the day. Pat, that is unbelievably a wrap on the netball season, and I want to say thank you for being our correspondent in the River Murray Netball Association this year. It's been great getting your very informative recaps each week and your good previews of games as well, and hopefully we'll have you back to keep talking netball next year.
Thank you, Dan. I have enjoyed it. I'd been away from netball for a few years, so it gave me a chance to get back into it and see some brilliant up-and-coming players, and I just loved being on the sidelines watching when I could. So thank you very much, and maybe next year they'll have me back.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Pat. And I know you've enjoyed being back to netball, but now it's time to enjoy a bit of time away from netball as we get into the summer sports season. So have a nice summer, and we'll catch you next year.
Same to you, Dan. Thank you.